What's going on? Welcome. Oh, we are in the building, man. We are in the building. I love it. I love it. Impromptu show, kind of, but we knew it was coming. We knew it was gonna come to this. It was gonna come to the scheduled release, and I wanted to go live. And who better to go live with than my boy Nick right here, man? My boy Nick. So, Nick, introduce yourself, introduce your channel for people who don't know you. You guys
Yeah,
got a good product, man.
yeah, man, appreciate that. Yeah, great to be on your show for the first time, man. Hopefully, it won't be my last. I
Yeah.
definitely like your content. I definitely enjoy listening to your shows that you put on. My name is Nate Castro. I am the host of One Ass Cheek and Three Toes, and you can find us on YouTube at One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. And yeah, man, like any other podcast out there, Lions wise, we just talk Lions, we break down film, we talk about stuff. Like we have a good old time, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is a great time to be a Lions fan. Like
That's it.
I can't think of a better situation being a Lions fan right now than right now.
Right.
But yeah,
Right, right. Glad it's the Packers and not the Eagles. Wow. Okay, I guess they already know. That's the
right?
pleasure of doing the show. Look,
Yeah.
we were talking a lot. We were talking a lot about the schedule release earlier in the show, or early before the show started,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a good thing that we play who we play. Supposedly, obviously, the confirmation's coming out, and things could change, obviously. But I didn't want to see the Eagles week one. I don't believe in Amon Ross saying what he said. I don't care about that. Our goal should be the Bears or the Commanders, and we should be playing villain ball from that point. What was your take on the schedule week one?
Well, week one. Like as far as all the teams, or just the Packers that we're playing.
Oh, just the Packers that we playing.
Oh, I mean, it's an early test for Shep. Like right out the gate, he's going to be playing, a very talented Jordan Love, who's going to have Matthew Golden there too. And, Reed's going to be there. Wicks is going to be there. Kraft. So Jacobs. So it's going to be a tough battle for Shep right off the bat. I think we're
Right.
going to find out if he's a DC for the future, or if he's going to take some lumps early on, and kind of like AG is going to have to work his way into getting better, because AG did not start off good, and a lot of that was the talent. They didn't have a lot of draft capital on the defense. They didn't have the players that AG wanted. But you're going to see early on what Shep's made of, because if you look at the first three games, two of them are against
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to preface this: the strength of schedule we know is the third worst for a lot of Lions fans. They're I don't want to say scared, maybe cringe, maybe nervous. I don't know, but they were talking a lot of stuff last year. We was talking a lot of stuff. I wasn't talking stuff on this channel, but what's good, Lupe? What's good, Mary Smith? What's good, Bill Welsh? My bad. What's good, Brent DeWitt? New coordinators. What do you say? New coordinators, new DB. No early impact
players from the draft.
I
don't know about that. But everybody's got their opinions.
Strength of schedule. So we know the schedule's going to be hard. All right. Lions 2025 opponents. The home games are a little easy, but the road games, we look at it for real. The road games is like, that's serious.
First place schedule.
Hey, look.
Schedule.
We won 15-2. Let's do it again. Let's run it back. That's all I say. If we them guys, let's show that we them guys, man. And I think that's the best thing we could do. So according to these guys, we won't win 10 games, or we win 10 games. And I heard a Bears podcaster today, according to Warren Sharp, football analyst, he projected the total wins for our team, and he said we barely win 10 games. So this is good. This is good for me. This is good for me, because if we win 12 and we go 12, I don't want to hear no excuses. These are all playoff teams. These are all good teams. And let's get into the meat of the schedule, what you were talking about. Let's go through it. So you want to name off the schedule?
Yeah. So we start week one with going to Green Bay. We've had a lot of good success there. So, it's Green Bay. It is what it is. Then the next week we go We go to we got Chicago coming into Detroit. Ben Johnson's return. That should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go on the road and play Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, where it's been hell trying to win a game there. So hopefully we can turn those tides around.
3-0.
Then oh wow, all right.
Nah.
I'm not that confident in Baltimore, but well, actually, you know what? We'll talk about that. And then we go, and then Cleveland comes to Detroit. That should be a win. No doubt about that. I don't even know who Cleveland's quarterback's going to be. It might be Shedeur Sanders. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Then we go play Joey Burrow in Cincinnati, and that's going to be a fun game. Joey versus Jared Goff going at it. That's going to be good. Hopefully Trey's on Detroit by then. That'll be a revenge game. He'll have like 5 sacks. Who knows? Then we go play Mr. Mahomes in Arrowhead on Sunday night. That's going to be fun. We've already beat them once. We can do it again. No doubt about that. And then we keep playing Tampa Bay, man. Tampa Bay comes back to Detroit, and it's Revenge City on Monday Night Football. We're probably going to wear the motor jerseys, I bet you. And we're going to take belt to ass with them. Like, we're going to beat the crap out of Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. And then everybody, we get a bye. We get to relax and have some fun. Hopefully they'll stay out of trouble and all that stuff and just have some good old times.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we come back. We play Minnesota comes to our house. First game for God, name's killing me, man.
What name?
The quarterback for the Vikings. The young guy.
McCarthy.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, JJ comes into town. We'll probably put him in the ground. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay. And then rebuilt offensive line, no defensive line, but okay.
Yeah, but rookie quarterback. So I think Shep by then will have his stuff together, and I think he'll be ready to roll.
Okay.
Then we go on the road to play Jaden Daniels, and I want all that smoke. I want to beat those Commanders. Bad.
You got to. That should be, to me, that should be a Sunday Night Football game.
I agree. I was surprised that's not a primetime game. It's probably going to be a national game in some aspects because, like where I am, they always show those kind of games. So I'm sure it'll be in some aspects. But I agree with you. I thought that was going to be a primetime game.
Right. And we still got flex after week 8. So we still, some people might drop to the wrong. Yeah.
Right. And then we go to Philadelphia, the home of the champions, and I'm waiting for that game, man. That's going to be a good game. God willing, we're healthy and we're all ready to go because I want to stick it to the Eagles.
Look, your GM did it. Man. Look. If he brought back all those guys, everybody said was a bum. He brought back all those guys, everybody said was bums. So if he brought back all those bums, look, there is no more excuse. He believe in them. The team believe in them. Coach believe in them. If they playing in the NFL, we got to play. I'm not going to use these guys, Pat O'Connor and all these bums. I'm not going to use them as no excuse no more. I'm not going to use Hassanin. None of them dudes going to have an excuse like, oh, well, it's okay. Now, you were 15-2 with the bums, and now we going to be, now we got to, look, we brought them all back. So there was no drop-off in talent, supposedly. Now, on this podcast, we was here. We was trying to say, get new guys, please. And we were begging. We were doing research. We were doing all this stuff. And now, look, we running it back with the same old cast and characters. So if we don't win 10 games, if we don't win a division, we got a problem. We got a big problem.
I will be very shocked if we don't win 10 games. I'll be very shocked. I'm looking at the schedule, and there's a lot of wins to be had here. There's some toss-ups. There's some toss-ups that I have some questions on. But let's finish up with the schedule. Then we got the Giants coming into Detroit. That should be a win. Again, we don't even know if Russell Wilson's even going to be playing. It might be Jackson Dart by then.
Neighbors.
And then Green. I mean, I'm not.
Neighbors.
Who's going to get the ball to Neighbors? That's my question.
Woo! You're talking stuff, man. You're talking. Who's going to?
I'm just telling you, man. I'm not worried about the Giants. I mean, that just doesn't worry me. And then Green Bay comes on Thanksgiving, and that's revenge. We got to definitely win Thanksgiving, man. It's been 5 or 6 years since we've won on Thanksgiving. We've got to win on Thanksgiving. Just
okay. Okay,
And
yeah,
then
I messed up here. I said Dallas Thanksgiving, but it was obviously
yeah.
Green Bay, which to
Hmm.
me that having those divisional games Thanksgiving is kind of lame. It's a cop out,
Yeah.
but it's all right, man. It's no one cares about the Thanksgiving games. No
Just
one
win,
does.
baby. Just
Just
win.
win. That's all you got to do.
Exactly.
It's
And
like a
then Dallas.
formality.
Right, exactly. And then Dallas on Thursday night, that should be fun. I mean, we should beat Dallas. I'm not too worried about Dallas. And then we go on the road and play Stafford and the boys. That could be a big playoff game right
Right.
there, because
Right.
maybe a preview of a divisional round or something like that.
Right.
So, the Lions have had the last 2 games in Detroit and had the benefit of winning both those games. Now they got to go on the road and win in LA. That's going to be a cross-country kind of
Yeah.
trip. So probably the
Yeah,
longest
but
trip they have all year.
December is actually a good month for Detroit Lions because December, you look at LA, you're
Hmm.
going to be home against Pittsburgh. Like
Hmm.
you're not gonna Jared Goff's not gonna play outside much, and he's gonna have what he's
Yeah,
gonna
you're
be
right.
at Minnesota. I mean, you're not gonna
One,
play
two.
outside much in December, and that's what matters, right? Because he can't throw the ball
Yeah.
deep sometimes. I don't know. That was a fear last year with people. Like if he has a game in December, it's gonna be a
Right.
concern. And
Hmm.
me, I'm like play ball, man. Just show up. If you're not hurt, you can play. Because I've seen him win in Green Bay. Like I think
Yeah.
they've won 6 games in Green Bay. So
I think the
but
narrative. I think the narrative against him is kind of quietly not as loud as it used to be, because he has one outside of. He has. Yes, I'm not worried about the Giants. Come on, they won 3 games. They
wow,
won three. They won 3 games last year, and it's in our
that's
house. Like, come on,
that's
our
that's.
secondary will be fine. But anyways, uh,
I can't wait for
I,
this year. I can't wait, man. I
I,
can't wait, man.
I, I mean, I am worried about the last game, Chicago, because that could be the difference of us getting the #1 seed, or it could be difference of us winning the division if it's that
Hmm.
tight.
And that's at
And that's
Chicago.
and yeah, and that very well could be like a snow game, kind of bad weather kind of game that Chicago always brings in the December years.
Let me get to the comments.
Mhm.
To be honest, I really don't only care about the game against playoff teams to test and get our team ready for the playoffs. I can also see that we need to win the division. Yeah, I believe that. And like you said, there's a lot of wins to be had. Shout out to Mr. Lupe, a member of the channel. Nate's not worried about the. Yeah, we yeah. Look, another mobile QB. He ain't worried. So look, I'm a Lions fan. Y'all know that. But I said, if they don't address these weaknesses, ag- we know what the weaknesses are. We know what the weaknesses are. If they don't address them, it's on them, man. It's on them. Everything cool. And yeah, we won last year, Thanksgiving. We won, I believe, the year before that. Thanksgiving to me is a formality to watch them. Like, I just go over a
We didn't. We
friend's
didn't win
house.
last Thanksgiving. We didn't win Thanksgiving. We lost.
We we won Chicago.
Oh, you're right. I'm tripping. You're right. We did win. We
Yeah,
did win.
you good.
Yeah.
You good. Hey, look, we
Yeah.
almost lost.
It's
How
been a
about
long
that?
day.
We almost
Yeah, we almost
yeah.
lost. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So
right. We did.
I'm oh wow. Look, this dude says Giants Packer fan huddle sports bet me $100 that the Giants would have a better regular season record
Oh,
than the
you're gonna be
Lions.
you're gonna be
That's
collecting
easy money.
$100. Easy
That's
money.
easy money, man. And
Woo.
obviously, that's easy money, man. I don't even think the Giants have a chance in that. I just want to shout out everybody. Special thanks to our members, Rico, Lupe, Omar, that joined the channel. And obviously, I want everybody to remember, okay? When you see him in the chat, run the ball. It's his birthday in 4 days. We got to let him know. It's his birthday in 4 days. So send him a happy birthday. Or if you see him in the chat or a replay, it's the last time I posted it, but I appreciate everybody, wishing him a happy birthday. Oh, we got Micro Mike in the chat. That's crazy. We got Micro Mike in the chat. What up, Mike? What's going on? What's going on? I love the schedule, man. I love it. I think it's there's an intensity intensity to it, like intensity to it. Intensity. Man, I can't say that word. Anyway,
Intensity.
there's an intensity. Yeah, there's an intensity to it because every game seems like something valuable. The first 3 weeks are valuable to Lions fans, whether you hate Ben Johnson, you hate Green Bay, and obviously Baltimore. My take on Baltimore, I found a stat on Baltimore no one's going to believe. Baltimore, when they don't score, 30 or more points actually has a losing record, and that's coming from Baltimore Nest or some nonsense. I be watching everybody. I watch every team possible. So when they don't score 30 points, they lose. The thing about it is they haven't had that dominant defense in a long time, but they have been able to create pressure. They have been able to be at the top of sack rate all the time, 84 sacks in 2023. They've been able to actually go to farther in the playoffs than we went. But I will say, I think that's a day behind. They still lost the first game. But I just feel like Baltimore is not as much as a test anymore as they used to be. I think we're right there with them. And I think offensively, it's going to be a light show. So I'm actually interested in that. Chicago, we know the narrative there. They have been the Batman trailer, or been the Batman trader. And me, honestly, I don't really too much care about that narrative. I just want to make sure these Bears fans know that they're owned. You know what I'm saying? Like they look, I watched the Bears person on Huddle Sports, and God bless his soul, he was saying stuff like, what did he say? Oh, yeah, this is what he said. He said, the Lions don't have anything anymore. We got their secret sauce. We got their guy. And every time I see these shorts and these clips and all this other stuff, like we got everything. You ain't get Dan Campbell. You ain't get Amon Ra. You ain't get you got one person and you think you got everything from us. Yeah. So, yeah.
Bears still have our offensive players, man. They're only going to get better. Like, I don't know what people are saying about how our offense is going to do.
Right. We got J-Mo. Y'all have to figure it out. I just seen a press conference with Ben Johnson that was taken from like 2 or 3 days ago. Like, he hasn't even installed plays. He's getting guys fundamentals. These guys got a long way to go. And we don't even know if they're going to get hit with an injury bug or the narrative of the year, right? So we don't even know that. Cleveland, in my mind, that's going to be weird. I don't know if Flacco is going to start. It's going to be at home, obviously. But Cleveland should be a win. But knowing this team and how they act weird, even though they went 15-2. They still give fans pause. And I'm not pausing for Cleveland. I'm just saying, like, y'all played 3 hell of a games. Y'all better not take your foot off the gas just because Cleveland's in town. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's that mentality mindset, right? You know, Cincinnati, that's going to be a light show. I want to see if the secondary holds up. You have Avonte Maddox, who you thought was the greatest. Not you, but the Lions fans. They thought Avonte Maddox was the greatest nickel cornerback in the world, just coming. He's a champion and all this other nonsense. I want to see Avonte Maddox, a Meek, Terrion, Reed. I want to see y'all go up against these wide receivers and tell me if it's going to be 400 yards. It'd be it's going to be a good test. My man says, speaking of narrative, what do you think about the narrative? What do you think the narrative is going to be with the Detroit Lions, since a lot of the media is really downplayed them this year? I think the narrative for the Lions is going to be basically Amon Ra saying, don't forget about us. Because the Eagles obviously have 5. 9 of their games got leaked. They have 5 primetime games. People want to see the Eagles. And people want to see, a lot of these other teams that are not named the Lions. And I think the Lions fans, as well as the Lions players and team, are trying to be relevant. And they're saying, don't forget about us and all this nonsense. The only way to be etched in stone is a Super Bowl. And that's all I'm going to be saying. Like, you could say whatever you want about the Giants, whatever you want about the Packers, but they got their bowls. Their teams are etched in stone and literally granite, okay? Their teams have trophies, and those teams are remembered and documented, and there's documentaries about them. So I think the narrative for the Lions is going to be, don't forget about us. We're your friendly neighborhood Lions. No one cares about that. No one cares that we were the villains. No one cares that we're the feel-good story. No one cares. This schedule reflects
I think the narrative is just win a Super Bowl. That's
it. That's all you got to do. No one's going to care. You win 15-2 and lost. Like, don't turn into Dallas where you win 15 games and you're a joke. You're like, howdy, Mike. Yeah, Mike is the GOAT, man. Mike is the GOAT. We got Mike in the chat. Brown's new defensive line is going to be hard to run against. See? I haven't even kept up with their additions besides Shador. Like, I haven't even kept up with nothing.
They still have Myles Garrett. Yeah, they still have Myles Garrett. So, they got Mason Graham.
Yeah.
So yeah, that interior is going to be tough to get against.
You know what I should have did? I should have did like a Myles Garrett picture, and each city, each team we play was a Myles Garrett picture. Like week 1, Myles Garrett, because he's got all 32 teams believing that he was gonna be there. Man, this is so funny, dog. It's so funny. It's hilarious, man. But what's your take on the Christmas game? Because I see a lot of mixed reviews on that. Micro Mike hates that. He hates it because
I'm not a big fan of the Netflix thing. It's just they're trying to get their hands into the NFL schedule, and Goodell's allowing them to. We've pretty much played well in Minnesota. We've been pretty well, except for Dan's first year where he had that one questionable call where it cost us that win. We've won in Minnesota. It's going to be hard with this division, man. This division is a lot better than it was last year.
Yeah.
And, by that game, JJ McCarthy, if he's still the quarterback, he should be more seasoned. So you're going to see a better version of JJ McCarthy at that time of the year. And that could be a tough game, man. I don't like I'll be honest with you. The thing I like about this schedule is the way we start and the way we finish.
Okay. With the lack of snow games. See, I want more snow games. I want to go in the elements.
Yeah. It's not even about the snow, man. It's just the fact is that the first 3 games, Green Bay is going to be tough. Okay.
Yeah.
Going into Lambeau, game 1 is always going to be tough. Chicago, Ben Johnson coming into town, they're going to hype the hell out of that game. I do, and the Chicago's always given us fits in Detroit as many times, and now they have Ben Johnson, so that could be a tough game. Baltimore, I don't care what anybody says. Baltimore has whooped our butts every time we played them on the road.
Yeah,
and so we could easily, worst case scenario, we could be 0-3 or we could be 1-2, and then the last 2 games are rivals. We got to go on the road to Minnesota in a hostile environment. And we got to go on the road in Chicago in a hostile environment with bad weather. Like those games could be the difference of winning a division. Like if those are up, if we're like tied neck and neck, like we were with the Vikings last year, and the Bears and Vikings are nipping at our heels, those could be difference of winning a division, not winning the division. So I don't like the way we start and finish. The middle's fine.
Yeah, no, I love how you break that down. I love how you break that down. So would you say every game, and I'm not saying every game, but every game might be a must win. Every game might, because your division already proved last year that 15-2, right? Or 14-3, right? 14-3, and then 11-6. So your division's already going to the playoffs, like pretty much. And then you got Ben Johnson, obviously adding to what he did, and then you have like these teams that you don't know but are going to be there. Tampa Bay is going to be involved in the playoffs. LA is going to be involved.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So you have a lot of people, I don't want to say clawing at you, but you do have some you do have some frustration there. Like, look, every game might be a must win.
We are the hunted. We are the hunted. That's what you're trying to say. We are. Everybody is out to get us because, we are the team that everybody wants to be in the way we develop and the way we build our roster.
Yeah.
Everybody's chasing us in the sense outside of the Eagles because the Eagles won the championship. So yeah, we're the hunted. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, every game should be taken like it's the last game.
Yeah. Yeah. Garrett played the media perfectly and laughing his way all the way to the bank. Good for him. That's perfect. Yeah. I don't like snow. You don't like snow? I love the snow, man. I love the snow, man. Look, I love the snow.
I'm with you on Tampa Bay. I'm with you on that too.
I love the snow so much. I love to watch Matthew Stafford last year in the snow. I love that. That was fun. This is a tough schedule, man. Like I'm not sugarcoating it. Like I think I have the Lions winning about 12 games this year because it's a tough schedule, man. That road is brutal. Philadelphia, the Commanders, the Ravens, the Bengals, Kansas City, the Rams. Hell, those are all playoff teams possible right there. Right.
And that is no joke. And you talk about our division rivals.
Yeah.
Like that is a brutal road schedule, man.
I love
brutal
it.
Road schedule.
With a schedule like that, that's why you get the week 8 bye. See, the schedule last year, like Mr. Welsh said in the chat, the schedule last year, Tennessee Titans and the Jaguars, the AFC South has never been anything. There will never be anything. All right. So I know the Titans started off hot. They had the best defense in the league for 4 weeks. It did not matter. When they got here, it was a buzzsaw. Okay. So when you oh yeah. I went to Jacksonville. I went to all the blowouts. I went to like 3 games last year and they was all blowouts. So I think I went to the Tennessee Titans game. I had to leave at halftime because I was just eating popcorn, bro. It was just no. You know what's funny? When I went to the Jaguars game, every time there was a play, they kept saying, "First down, Detroit Lions, first down." It was crazy, bro. I'm like, how many times y'all gonna say first down? We was blowing them out so bad, bro. Yeah. What's good, Low High? What's good, man? So look, man, when you have an easy cupcake schedule like you did last year, you get the early bye because some of these teams were bye weeks. This year, you see a properly placed bye, and you see a bye that's actually functional. Obviously, this is the rumor mill of the strength of the schedule, and none of this stuff has been too confirmed. Would you say it's confirmed a little bit, or on the confirmed?
I mean, from the leaks I've seen, all they match up to what you have right now. So I'll be anxious to see what the actual if there's any misses on there. But it looks. I mean, whoever put this out there, I think they could put it out there with reason.
Yeah,
I don't think that they just put it out there just to put it out there because some of these match up perfectly. So
yeah. Now, if there are any discrepancies and stuff like that, anybody wants to come from my journalistic integrity, just know that I've been working all night on film study, all night on this stuff. So I haven't been asleep, man. So it is all good. Last year I went to the Jags and Titans. Yeah, going to those blowout games was crazy, bro. That was insane, bro.
I love it. And it's funny because you say like, oh yeah, I got bored, and I understand where you're coming from because everybody loves a good competitive game, keeps you on your seat. However, we used to be that team that would get our butts handed to us. Like they come in and take us. Yeah, they come in and take us to the woodshed. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Miami in 2020.
So the fact that we're coming in and we're just taking belt to ass all the time on them, I'm okay with that. Like I enjoy it. Like it's fun.
For sure. I think this is a 12-5 record, just like Low High believes, man.
I agree.
And I think you mentioned it earlier. Too. Yeah, you had 12 wins. Like now, again, that could shift and that could change, but at the end of the day, we should be 11-6 because obviously someone's going to come out of the doldrums, whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's Cleveland, which is highly unlikely, but still likely impossible because Pittsburgh didn't get a quarterback in the draft. They don't know what their quarterback room looks like. They don't know what to expect out their 6th-round pick, Will Howard, and they don't know what to expect out of Mason Rudolph. So there are some teams that are like, they could go up, they could go down. Obviously, some of the better teams, like the classically better teams like Dallas, we don't know if they rebound, right? They picking top 10 this year. We don't know if they rebound. So obviously, right now, schedule looks hard. But week 2, week 7, we might be like, dang, Tampa Bay really fell off.
I will say this about the schedule. This is going to speak more to how good our defense is going to be. Because we're going against top quarterbacks, Hurts, Burrow, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, like Matt Stafford. You're gonna know how good your defense is and how good of a defensive coordinator Shep is right off the bat.
Right.
Because in week 3, he's going to be tested. Well, actually, week 1, he's going to be tested going against Jordan Love, and then 2 weeks from then, he's going to be tested against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So you're really going to know how good your defensive coordinator is.
Right. And the best
defense, how far the defense is.
The best defense is good offense because guess what? Historically, last year. Let's just go with last year. Last year, the Lions scored upwards of 638 points, right? Which is the second most in NFL history.
Highest point differential all year.
Right. And then they were second in the NFL to only one team, and that was the 2013 Broncos, who went on to win a Super Bowl. That's why I say last year was a waste. Anyway, they had a historically good offense, and you could say, all right, Ben Johnson's gone. How do we replicate that, or can we replicate that? It's on him, Johnny Morton, unfairly, but it's on him to actually keep producing with the same weapons. Not to the level of that, of course, because that was a mix of play calling, personnel, lack of injuries. That was a mix of goodness, right? A great mix, right? But when that defense is getting 3 and outs, whether it's in Baltimore, Cleveland, Chicago, wherever, and you're not able to score, or you're having third quarter lulls, remember that was an issue in 2023. We have nothing to lose. We need to keep this man going. What do you think about Johnny Morton moving forward, especially in the first 3 weeks of the season?
Well, so I've gone on record and said that I think that the offense is going to take a little bit of a dip. I mean, we were top 3 offensively last year in points and all that. I definitely think we're probably going to be closer to a top 10 offense, but I do expect our defense to take a step up because we'll have our players back. I do think we've improved in some areas. Getting DJ Reed was huge. You know, TA's year 2, I think, is going to be better for him. You already know what Kirby can do. Brian Branch is going to rebound, so secondary is going to be fine. Linebackers are good enough. We don't need any studs on linebacking. We're fine with all.
You think they're good enough?
Yeah, I mean, Jack had a really good year last year. Alex, Alex played solid.
I don't have no problem with the linebackers. People tell me the linebackers ain't athletic. That's what they tell me on Facebook. They're not athletic.
Here's the thing with linebackers nowadays. The linebackers are being phased out, just like running backs are phased out at some point. Because the thing is, everybody's going to more of a spread offense where you have receivers. You're not using linebackers as much. Mm-hmm. You know, the only way linebackers will become more prevalent and more focused is if the running backs continue to come out. Because if the running backs come back again, then you're going to need linebackers to cover those running backs because when they go out in the flats and stuff like that, you know, blocking and all that stuff. Yeah. But the linebackers are fine for Detroit. I mean, Alex was good. Jack was solid. Barnes is my biggest concern. Like, you just gave him a little bit more money. I want to see what else he can bring to the table. I want to see what Shep can really utilize.
Besides the great run defense, yeah. I get you a lot. I understand both sides of it. Honestly, I thought linebacker was the least of our needs in the defense. But like you said, the running backs are coming out. People are using more. You know, the base defense nowadays is the 4-2-5 all across the league, using a nickel defense. Exactly. So you still need
safeties. You don't even need a linebacker now. You can have the hybrid safety.
And there's some teams that believe that, like Seattle. Seattle just drafted Eamon Worry, and they're putting him at nickel, and they're going to have him as close to the ball as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think what you're saying is also, you know, it's correct. It's in that mode of correct, but I also want to push back against a little bit of it because having a capable linebacker like in the middle that can play zone, be on the field 3 times, three downs is key. That's why San Francisco has been functional. That's why they've been going to Super Bowls. Like, you know, we have to, if we do have a linebacker on the field, he's got to be tip top. And that's what I believe that you were saying. Like, look, if linebackers, they're good enough, but they're not even important. I'm saying if you're not even important, you need to be great. You know what I mean? So, and we had running backs, what? 1,400 yards for B. John and what's his name down there. We had 2 running backs with 2,000 yards apiece. We had what's his name in Baltimore? He ran for another 1,100 yards, and we had a 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon. So I think the running back case is there. I'm gonna get some of these comments, but I just wanted to push back a little bit, not too much.
No, you're fine. Yeah,
I'm in agreement with you. But not.
We don't have an elite linebacker. That's I agree.
You don't. Oh wow, you don't believe we don't have an elite one? Dang.
I think we have above average linebackers. Like I think Alex is a good linebacker. I think Jack could be a really good linebacker.
Okay.
And Derek and D Barnes, TBD.
Oh, okay. I feel you. So you saying like we're like our linebackers, no matter what, are really 7 out of 10.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah, they're solid. Yeah. Okay.
They're not.
Okay.
We don't have a Fred Warner on this defense. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, we don't have an elite linebacker for sure. That's that's the metric for sure.
Yes, that's the metric for me. Correct.
If John Morton does what he says, which is keep the offense the same, the defense can adjust at the right moment or time, he should be good. My only comment on this low high is that I'm hoping he's being correct. I'm hoping he is correct because he helped install and build this offense. I'm hoping that what he says is what he's going to do because too many times these guys comes out with this like, oh, I'm not going to change anything. Remember Denver Broncos when they hired the guy from New England?
McDaniels.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna change too many things. He's traded away the quarterback. He changed the whole scheme. He got rid of and they won 3 games. They won 1 playoff game and they won 3 games. They were, horrible. So I hope he means what he says. He says what he means. In that respect. What we got? Another comment from Low High. Aaron Glenn was too stubborn to make adjustments in the backfield, and I think that's why he was getting cooked early. Or when we were healthy.
Can I say that's something about Aaron?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I just want to say this about Aaron Glenn because I think a lot of people are Aaron Glenn haters, and it's not really that simple. So Aaron Glenn in one of his press conferences basically told the media that I get players to fit my scheme, and that makes 100% sense with Aaron Glenn. So when you lose Aiden Hutchinson, when you lose Mack, when you lose Carlton Davis, your other players cannot fit that scheme because those guys have talent that those other dudes don't have. Okay. And that's the reason why they were starting. That's the reason why you're paying them the big bucks. So when you don't have players that fit your scheme, it's like, okay, if you're a coach, right? I'm sure you've coached football. I've coached football before.
I've never coached.
Okay. Well, I've coached football. So,
yeah,
if I have a really good player and he can do a lot, I'm feeling pretty good about myself because I can use him in multifaceted ways. I can use him in different schemes, different packages, whatever it is. If I have John Doe over here that loves football, but maybe he's not as talented as the first guy, I'm going to be limited in how I can use him, right?
That's true.
Because he's not the fastest. He doesn't jump the highest. He's not the smartest, whatever, So I understand what Aaron Glenn says when he says that. And that's why he struggled with adjustments is because if you're Aaron Glenn and you lose half your defense, which is exactly what happened, and you're left with your backups of the backups, bro, they're backups for a reason. Like they're not guys that you're going to trust to start 2 through 5 or 6 games. You're going to trust them in a pinch at best.
Yeah, spot players, and I think that with Low High is the adjustments that Aaron Glenn made were like season adjustments. I think there was one game where I seen a halftime adjustment by Aaron Glenn that changed the game, and that was Arizona. And when he changed the game, he started flowing coverage to Marvin Harrison's side because Marvin Harrison was cooking Terry Arnold. For whatever reason, Marvin Harrison started off with like 68 yards in the first half and then didn't do nothing after that. Or he had like 50 yards in the first half, and after that he did nothing, had no catches whatsoever. So I did see those type of like moves up. But before the criticism of Aaron Glenn like was always like huge, I think in 2024 as well as 2023, I started doing videos exclusively about his defense. And what I will say is he has changed long-winded changes throughout the season, right? We go from a 2-gap system to a 1.5-gap system. And we make that change after the bye week. Then we win the rest of our games and we go 9-8 in 2022. And in 2023, guess what? We have no man corners per se, right? We have no man corners because the guys that we brought in, these corners aren't even good. So let's play more zone. So in 2023, play more zone than anybody, and that's not even him. And when we played man coverage specifically, Green Bay, Baltimore, when we played more majority man coverage, we got killed. And guess what? The next game he went back to zone coverage.
Yeah, he switched it up. There's no doubt about that. I agree.
Yeah. In 2024, the biggest thing that was killing us was injuries. Obviously, I'm on the affirmative of that because I believe if you in the NFL and if you're Brad Holmes God brought in these guys, then these are the guys you got to play with. Unfortunately, y'all said no to Tariq Woolen. Y'all said no to all these other guys. Y'all said no to Barmore. Y'all said no to y'all got the injury players out there. play ball, right? You got the two safeties, play ball. What he did mid-season, where he's seen issues with the slot position. And obviously there was an injury that took place, and Amik had to go outside, and he had to drop Branch back inside and play nickel and be single high safety all the time. And he stayed cover 3 and he stayed man coverage. But that was a good adjustment because that's Brian Branch nickel position. So it speaks to your point of he had the players, but he also didn't have them. So now he just has to now he's in the Jets. Never mind. So I could talk all day about Aaron Glenn, but both of y'all are saying something I agree with. Both of y'all are just saying two things.
And just to add to Lohai's point, defenses are always behind the offenses early in the season. Like it doesn't matter how good your defense is. Defenses are always behind. That's why you see a lot of offenses cook defenses early in the season, because there's more chemistry, more synergy on the offensive side compared to where the defensive side, you probably have more turnover, more change. And so it usually takes about half the season for the defense to really start gelling. And we saw that with Detroit. Like early on, it looked kind of rough, and then it got better. The run defense was pretty solid all the way through. But the one adjustment I will say that AG did decently well was when Aiden went down against the Cowboys and he started blitzing more going forward. You know, even though you live and die by the blitz, you know, he had to do that because the pressure was not there. You didn't have an Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. You know, you had Josh Pascal, you had Davenport, you had somebody else that wasn't Aiden Hutchinson, you know, and again, when you like, I challenge anybody. You take Jalen Carter, you take Zach Bond, you take Quinyon Mitchell off the Eagles. Is that defense still number one defense? No, it's not.
You got to draft those players, though.
But that's what I'm saying is the Eagles, even taking those players away, you can't tell me that their backups would have held that number one defensive status.
Well, I will say this with the Eagles. The Eagles already had veteran leadership already there. They had the CJGJs. They had all these guys, and they had like talented players that they drafted in the first, second, and third round that actually were lying in wait. Like Milton Williams was a player that was a rotational player that ended up obviously going to New England, getting a boatload of money, $107 million. But you have to draft well. The Eagles draft as if they need their rebuild year one. The Lions draft as if everybody's okay. Everybody's just under contract for zero amount of dollars. Everybody's our friend. And that's my biggest criticism of Brad Holmes is like he doesn't attack the draft the way he did in 2023. And when in 2023, he had 3 game-changing players. In 2020, he brought in 2 game-changing players. And I had no problem with the Gibbs pick. I know a lot of people did, but I knew Best was not. He didn't have vision. And he's been on 2 teams since. In 2024, he took his foot off the gas. He found one gem. He found one serviceable player, and that's it. So we still waiting to see returns on that. And in this draft, his best player might be the left guard or right guard. We'll see what Rutledge does. But I have a lot of criticisms of Brad because when you're talking about AG, AG's got the groceries, but he can only make ramen. That's a crime. That's a crime to me. So, when he making ramen, and I think someone said it in the chat one time, like, AG, I don't think AG and Brad Holmes were on the same page. I don't think they never are.
I think the way you have to look at the way the draft fell for the Lions early on in the first year is that like when Penei Sewell fell to the Lions, they didn't expect Penei Sewell to be there. You don't pass up on a Penei Sewell, and you see why. The guy's all pro, and he's not even 25 years old. Like the guy could literally be as good as Trent Williams or better than Trent Williams, and he's not even in his prime yet. You know, you get a guy like
sense. I hear you. You said it makes sense. I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I could say about Brad Holmes. And like I said, we can agree, disagree on this, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, for sure.
The weakness I would say with Brad Holmes is probably been the D-line because he's got a 50-50 hit or miss rate. I would agree with that.
Oh, yeah,
but
for sure.
He has done a great job of finding players on the line, the O-line.
Oh yeah.
So the way I look at it is that every GM has their faults. I mean, people
Okay.
want to crown Howie Roseman the greatest drafter since sliced bread. Go for it, whatever. But if you look at his draft classes, he's only hit on his last 3 draft classes. Before that, his draft classes were terrible. Like the dude missed on Justin Jefferson and took Jalen Reagor.
I mean,
like that's asinizing right there. I'm sorry.
He missed on Justin Jefferson and then went to the Super Bowl.
But what I'm saying is, but you could have literally had Justin Jefferson and won a Super Bowl. I mean, just imagine Justin Jefferson with Jalen Hurts.
I mean, that would actually not benefit us. So I'm glad that never took place.
Right.
I'm glad.
What I'm saying is Howie's had his misses just like Brad has had misses.
Yes,
like
sir.
The thing is that every GM has a certain position that they miss on. Brad is probably, you could say D-line. I'll agree with you on the D-line. Howie's probably been receivers. That's why he had to draft. That's why he had to go trade for A.J. Brown. The Patriots back in the day could not draft a receiver. The life depended on it. So everybody has certain misses. But I would say this, that if you're going to miss on the D-line, at least you're getting the O-line right. Because you either have a strong D-line or have a strong O-line. Like, you got to have the trenches right. You can't be bad.
I love this. I love this by Brian Welsh. He says Lions better quit the gaslight and get back to playing one game at a time. We haven't won anything yet. And what he's referring to, I don't know. He's referring to Brad Holmes' comments. Like there has been several times, especially on this channel, that we're seeing Brad Holmes playing with the fans, with the pass rusher stuff, with the comments about we're gonna do our thing and we're good. And why don't we draft 3? I've always made it a point to show this. Even back when he wore the little shirts, divisional villain, or what's it called? It's a positional villain, and he just wore these shirts, and I was like, this dude would be gaslighting. And I think I had a whole video where he gaslighting us. But it's gonna show on the field because Dan Campbell to me is never gonna be on the hot seat for me. He's never gonna be on the hot seat. The groceries the groceries are there. Like he's getting guys up like Levi that haven't produced anything. He's making these guys play. He's whether he's singing to a choir or whatever he's doing it right. He's motivating guys, and that's great. Linebackers' first concern after the draft was Loveland. Linebackers' first concern after the draft was Loveland and Golden exploiting hours. Loveland is shifty and Golden has elite speed. I believe that. What do you think about Chicago beating us up there? Oh, matter of fact, no, it's only 5:00. So people probably, I've never done a show this late or this early or however you say it on a Tuesday. Wednesday? It's Wednesday. I've never done a show on the 15th. So I know people are moving around. So if you're with me, I appreciate you guys. But
yeah. I mean, going back to what they talk about the linebackers, I mean, I would say the same thing about JMO and Laporta. I mean, this is why linebackers are being phased out because you don't have linebackers that can match a guy with 4.3 speed or 4.2 speed straight line, like or diagonal. Like it's speed kills. Like like the only linebacker I've ever seen that's held his own against a fast receiver is probably Fred Warner. One team has Fred Warner and everybody else doesn't. Like that's it. Or Roquan Smith. He's probably the second guy I would say. Roquan and Fred Warner. There's 2 elite linebackers in this NFL. Outside of that, everybody else is mid to okay. Like they're not that great. So, I mean, this is how offensive coordinators are exploiting the linebackers now because you can either put a running back on the flat, you could put a straight line tight end, you could put the linebacker having to go diagonal. Like, it's just the way the NFL's going. So it really doesn't matter if they exploit us, we'll exploit them. It's a chess match. That's all it is.
NFL scoring is typically lower in the season, not higher. Well, in the early part of the season.
You mean
early in the season?
Well, yeah, but the defenses are still learning all the plays and all the, the thing is, when you see more turnover, you see more turnover on the defensive side. You rarely ever see a lot of turnover on the offense. Look at us, for example. We're only replacing one starter, probably, and that's going to be Ziegler's position. Other than that, we're bringing back our whole offense. Defensive side, we actually are pretty good on the defensive side, but we're going to probably replace about a couple of starters.
Defense is always ahead of the offense early in the year. We don't have much. Wow, defense was always ahead of the offense early in the year. Well, you know what I will say? I will say
Mm-hmm.
last year, maybe the year before that, this was definitely true, especially with the third quarter lulls. Now, me personally, I don't care which side is rocking. I just need somebody to rock out the gate.
Sure.
So I don't really speak in absolutes that much about offense and defense and who's better, but I will speak about who needs to carry the load because the other side is not gonna. And a team like Chicago, we need to score 30 points to beat. I'm sorry. They have the pass rushers now. They have the offense now. We don't know how it's gonna look. We don't know how it's gonna be. They have the corners. They might have the safety if they sign Simmons. They have the tight end. They have the play caller. There are certain teams you're going to have to score 30 just to have a chance to win. And unfortunately, the Commanders weren't one of them, but became one of them. So even when you scored 33, you still didn't win. So we could say either way. Me personally, I know this offense. I trust this offense way more. I trust the defense. And that's no disrespect to Shep. That's no disrespect to what they've accomplished. But the players that they amassed in this draft class.
Proof's in the pudding, man. The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. And then the fact that you got Reed was cool. That was a lateral move. That to me, that was a lateral move. You got the equal cover corner, and that's good, right? That's very good. But at the same time, when I'm looking at this team, Reed is 5'9", Terrion is 5'11". Everybody's 5 something. Okay, everybody to me, none of them corners could date my wife if she was single. Okay, she's 6 foot tall. Okay, there's she got to look down. She not gonna be around. That's what she say.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm just saying it. So
that's a good one. Yeah,
we have the guys. Only thing I'm concerned about is that the other side of Hutch, Terrion is going to step forward as a cornerback too. Also Shep and also
questions.
Shep. Those are fair. Those are fair.
I would say Shep's the biggest question because first-time defensive coordinators don't come out of the gate and ball out. Like it takes a minute for them to figure it out and understand how the defense works. Look at AG, man. AG really didn't find his footing until probably year 2. So
they didn't have no talent. They didn't have no talent, man. I mean
that's fair, but but what I'm saying is we didn't see the scheme either. So I guess that could be equated to the talent. Yeah. But I still, like I said, I don't expect Shep to come out of the gates, balls out. Like it's going to take some time. I would probably say by the bye week, we'll probably see a better version of Shep because I think he'll have a better idea of what to call and how to call things. But you know what? The schedule was not friendly to us early on because he's going to get tested very early. Very early in the season.
Do you put more pressure? Do you put more pressure on Shep or Johnny Morton?
Shep.
Oh, okay.
For the same reason you said about the offense.
Yeah, I put more pressure on Johnny Morton because you have actual grocery store pieces. He has the ability to make a filet mignon. If he come out there and make a steak sandwich, I'm talking about a steak sandwich like the regular bread, not the brioche bun. I'm gonna have a problem. Okay, I'm just gonna have a slight problem, but it's gonna dip. But the Lions never had an elite defense, so if the Lions defense dips, we're talking about shallow end of the pool. We're talking about you've already ranked 20th in the passing game last year. You've already ranked number 1 in the running game. You've already ranked all these different places and positions. I think what you're looking at is this glass of like, oh yeah, if the defense goes down, we're terrible. And I'm looking at if the offense goes down, we have no hope. And I've already expected the defense to be bad because of the groceries in the store. I mean, making ramen with chicken broth is good, but these guys, man, come on, man. God.
Yeah, I don't think like Johnny taught Ben Johnson. So Johnny, a lot of Ben Johnson's qualities came from Johnny.
Okay.
Like Ben was his protege.
And the senior offensive coordinator.
Ben was protege. Exactly. Yep. So, and he's also been with Sean Payton this last season, and we see the success that Bo Nix had, and Bo Nix played really well his rookie year. So if he could get somebody like Bo Nix, a rookie who honestly I didn't think was going to be that good. Like Ollie Crow, I thought the guy was not going to be good. I seen him at Oregon, I was not impressed, and I saw him at Auburn, I was not impressed.
I just got some bad news, man.
What's up? Team of the North. Yeah,
that is true. Brent DeWitt with the facts. They have the least amount of questions. They only question might be Love.
And I disagree with that.
you like okay. You like Love. You like Love.
No, I don't like Love. But there's more questions on them than we have questions.
Oh, okay. You disagree with the statement. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. 100% agree with you. Disagree with you, Brent. Because who's their other pass rusher? That's the same issue we have. Who's their secondary? Is Jair going to even play? Is Bullard going to take another step forward? Is Cooper the guy? Who's their receiver? Is Matthew Golden going to be the guy? Can Watkins ever stay healthy? I got a lot of questions for the Packers.
Yeah. And they got a
lot of questions.
Too, yeah.
We got less problems than they do.
Okay. It's good to hear your idea on that. I'm gonna catch up with everybody's comments real fast, and then I'm gonna try to get in a rapid fire with you. Cool. Just do a rapid fire real fast. Regarding the schedule, everything we've talked about. I love having you on. And plug your channel real quick, man. Plug your channel.
Yeah. So our show is One Ass Cheek, Three Toes. We're on YouTube. Our shows are right now Sundays from 4 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to make a change once the season starts to, I think, Tuesdays around. I think Tuesdays in the afternoon or something like that. It was TBD on that.
Okay.
But we're gonna change our days.
Okay. So Low High believes we have the guys. I'd say Morton because I've been in the league for a while.
That's fair.
So I'll give more grace to. Yeah, I will say. Oh, Shep, I'll give more grace to. Okay. One more question I missed. I think I missed something early on. Oh, Broski Bear. Broski Bear might be in the chat. Broski Bear, you don't. I love Broski. Broski, he's a Bears fan. He annoys my fan base. I don't know why. He annoys the people that watch my channel. So if you keep up annoying the people that watch my channel, bro, I got to get rid of you. I got to ban you. I'm only giving you this is like my last warning, but it's a real warning. I don't mind you at all. You're great. But man, I tell you, these people in the chat do not like you, bro. And these people,
who doesn't like a Bear fan right now?
Yeah, they've been feeling themselves a little much. They've been feeling.
They always do.
Like for me, I look at it like, check this out. If we're podcasters, right, and we're creating these environments, okay, we got to keep that environment good, right? Like Joe Rogan is probably the best podcaster, right? He's probably the number one guy, right? If not Logan Paul or one of those guys, right?
Sure.
But they have to monitor the chat. They have to, and whatever the vibes of the chat are, they have to acquiesce because guess what? Those people pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I like my $300 a month.
And podcasts have no room for trolls. Like, if you want to troll, you can troll on the Facebook post or something like that. But when you're on live on somebody's podcast, you don't need to be trolling.
Yeah.
I don't troll people's podcasts. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah, me personally. I just oh yeah, someone just subscribed to you, Castro. So
appreciate it.
One Ass Cheek and Three Toes is a good show. Like
One Ass Cheek and Three Toes,
Yeah. Let me get into questions about the schedule. All right. Now I'm gonna post the schedule. I'm put it up so you can refer to it, and I'm gonna say what it is, okay? I'm gonna just say the question, all right? It's gonna be win or loss. Or win or loss right now. I know that's probably stupid. I know that's probably dumb because we don't know what's going on. I mean,
everything's already over, man. So yeah, everything's already over. Yeah. So
Okay. So first question.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing real good with the what's that called? We've been 6-0 in the division. What's our record in the division look like now with all the additions after the offseason? What do you think about now? You're a little scared? What's going on?
Well, last year I said we sweep the North, and so we did.
Okay.
This year I think we take 2 losses.
Okay, 2 losses. Okay, 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
2 out of 6. So we 4-2. Who are they going to be to?
In Green Bay.
What, week 1?
Yeah, I don't like that matchup. I just think
Damn,
that
bro.
Jordan.
It's that bad, bro?
It's gonna be tough for Shep, man. Jordan Love right out the gate. Damn, I don't like that matchup.
Bro, you telling me they drafted this fat daddy dude and he can't stop Josh Jacobs? You telling me they drafted? Come on, man. They drafted all these dudes that said they could stop well, they drafted three defensive players, but if you told me all this time, that's a Ben Johnson problem than Shep to me. That's not Ben Johnson. That's a Brad Holmes problem. See, I complain about two different people. You could tell. So that's a Brad Holmes problem because Shep wanted Tyleek and he got him, and to me that was a waste of a pick, man. I would have drafted a corner. Okay, so you said 4-2. That's good. So let's keep it going. You said it's scary in week 1, so 0-1, right?
Yeah, I got a 7-1. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, second question: How many yards does Jameson Williams have, or who's going to be our leading receiver? Who's going to be our leading receiver?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh yeah, how many yards?
I'm gonna say about 1,200.
1,200. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Schedule alone. What is going to be the most shocking loss for you? Like
shocking loss? Oh.
Like the loss that you know is going to be there, but you're going to be like everybody's going to be shocked by it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's a good question. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh shit! Wow, the Steelers.
Yeah,
I had that in my head.
I love Mike Tomlin, man, and that defense is legit. And Goff struggles with mad pressure. Hayward's still there. They got that guy from Oregon, Harmon, that I really loved.
Yeah, like they got Harmon, they got Sawyer.
That's a
bad
matchup
Watt
for Detroit.
Yeah,
bad matchup.
Yeah. Okay.
And it could be Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So who knows?
Okay, what win is going to be your most satisfying? Now you off the schedule.
Can I have two?
Oh man, see, I gotta make you suffer, man. I know which two you talk about.
Give me the Eagles, baby. Go into Philadelphia, shut up all the Eagle fans, and take the win. Shut up.
If you're a Detroit Lions fan, I know Syndicate travels. He's planning on traveling. If you're a Lions fan going to Philadelphia,
God bless you, man. I would not go in that city.
I've seen a video of this dude just he's a troll, but he just wears the Washington stuff. They was spitting on Buddy. They was like, just type in Washington fan goes to
this Eagles fan base booed Santa.
Yeah.
That fan base booed Santa. If you boo Santa, you don't need to be going there if you're a division rival.
I don't know about y'all. Nobody spitting on me, bro. Okay? Yeah. Nobody spitting on me, bro. Like honestly, I don't put myself in situations where like me personally, like I hate to shout out Davenport, Texas, but Davenport, Texas got a little I don't put myself in situations to go to Davenport, Texas and be out there out at night and stuff. Okay, they got some vampires, if you know what I mean, down there. That's East Texas. This small town, and no, I'm not putting myself in those situations. They got
people up there, man. I can tell you.
You said, "Oh yeah, they got some people up there." Yeah, I ain't doing it. So, if you a Lions fan, putting yourself with the Eagles, good luck, bro.
Good luck.
Good luck. Okay, I got two more questions. It was gonna be one, but I got two more questions because it's fun for me.
For it. Yeah, dude, I'm enjoying it.
Most satisfying win is Philadelphia. This is great. Check this out. What win is going to be the most important, Washington or Philadelphia?
Most important.
So when you're talking about seeding, when you're talking about, it could be a divisional game. What win is going to be the most important? Like, you got to beat this team. Like, that could go with your last question, but.
Well, I'm going to go the other way.
Mm-hmm. Washington's going to be the most important?
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I feel that Washington is going to win the division, not the Eagles. And you're probably fighting for a top seed in the NFC.
Wow, that's deep, bro. You think Washington gonna win in division?
Well, let me give you a little fun fact that nobody's won back-to-back years in that division for almost 15 years.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So yes, I do
Yeah.
believe the Commanders will win that division, and
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. But
Okay.
yes, I think the Commanders game will be the one we have to definitely get for sure.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Low High lives on the south side of Texas. Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So they're saying Philly for probably the
yeah,
most important.
that's fair.
It's cool. I agree with you because honestly, I want to get back to people who actually mean something to us. Because I asked my wife this, like, if you wanted to go to a game, any game this season, what would you go to? I want to play the team that beat us in the playoffs. She don't even watch football, so she know.
She knows, yeah. Everybody
Mm.
wants the revenge. Everybody wants the revenge. I mean, you remember when we went into Dallas and basically just raked them through the coals? Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
exactly what we want to do with the Commanders, with a healthy defense, a healthy Aiden Hutchinson. In fact, I'll even go on the limb and say Aiden's going to have 3 sacks in that game.
Yep. Brent DeWint said he'd been there. He doesn't even want. Aiden Hutchins have what? How many sacks? 3 sacks in the Dallas?
3 sacks. No.
Wait,
3 sacks when he goes.
You talking
when
about
they
the
play
pass?
Commanders. No. What I'm saying is, I'm going to go
future.
as far as saying Aiden's going to have 3 sacks when he plays the Commanders. Yes.
How many sacks Aiden gonna get next season? He's like gonna be comeback player of the year, or
Oh, dude, Aiden's probably gonna be right where Trey Hendricks' numbers. If he's fully healthy, he was on pace for almost 20 sacks.
But he's shaking. He's shaking when he run. He's shaking. Like he doesn't run in a straight line.
He still gets the quarterback.
I'm talking about post injury.
Oh,
I'm hoping he's okay. I'm hoping he's okay. He
we'll
borrow
see.
my leg.
I think there's some nerves still. I mean, he broke his leg, and that was pretty traumatic. You know, we'll see when he gets to camp how he looks. But I'd probably say about 15 sacks for sure.
Okay. Oh, Nate.
One ass cheek and 3 toes.
Yeah.
One ass cheek and 3 toes. It's that old Dan Campbell adage.
Yeah, man. I love it too, man. Hey, look.
Yes,
look.
I do. I do. Yes, I do, Brent.
Oh yeah. Wait. Nate thinks the Eagles are having a Super Bowl hangover. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They only have 12 players from their Super Bowl run.
Oh wow. You sure on the defense? They running back is returning. Their offensive line is returning with the exception of one person.
Right.
So you talk about their defense?
The
defense lost 8 players.
They might be starters. They might be talking about the starters. Maybe they only
lost
starters returning.
They lost
most of their defense
8
players,
starters. Yeah. Okay. So
and they lost Becton on offense too. So yeah.
It's one person. They good. I think
that.
I mean, their whole offense is returning and their whole defense is like young, but
Becton's not returning, bro.
3 or 4? No, I mean Becton. Okay, one person.
Yeah.
The defense, you got the 2 corners, they're returning. They were, one of them was part-time. Now he's going to be a full-time starter.
They lost
Makai was already on the team. Both their pass rush, they got not Sweat, Nolan Smith. That's what they drafted him for. They got Jalen.
Jalen Carter. Yeah, they got young guys moving to the spot. But again, and I said this last night. The Lions, with all our young players, not everybody's going to pop year 2. There's people that are going to take slumps. Who knows? Quignon's now going to be a number 1 cornerback. Can he handle that position? Well, we don't know. We'll see.
I mean, he held.
I mean, D. Slay was before.
He held 11 receivers to 30 yards.
as a CB2. That means he
played against Mike Evans.
He played well. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm just saying. But now he's going to have to go after him.
Yeah.
A whole game. You're not going to be able to hide with D. Slay because you know how good D. Slay is. I don't want people to just trash D. Slay at all. Like that guy can still freaking ball. Yeah. I wanted him on the Lions. I wanted him to come back and play for Detroit for one more year. Like he could still ball. Mm-hmm. And so now we'll see. We'll see how good these rookies are. That's all I'm going to say.
Will Broderick Martin get cut?
Probably. Yeah.
I hope so. I mean, you drafted a fat daddy, so we need it. But I'm going to look into that Eagles stuff. Actually, I think that'd be a good video because the coordinator video just lost all its flair because this guy just said, I'm not going to change anything up. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do a video. How about that? But he did. I liked his press conference, so I could react to his press conference.
And they also lost their OC too. And the last time the Eagles lost last time they lost their OC, they were terrible the next year.
What OC was that though?
That was Gannon.
Come on,
No,
man.
not Gannon. Not Steichen. I'm sorry.
Oh, Steichen. Okay, that makes
Steichen.
sense.
Gannon was the defensive coordinator. Sorry.
Yeah. Broderick Martin won't get cut. We need a water boy.
The big water boy.
Sourcedal is gone. Is he going today? I don't know.
He probably will be.
Do you have any questions for me, man?
I mean, like, okay.
I know I'm interviewing you, but I know you got some questions for me. And
you're good. Okay, so you say the pressure is all on
Johnny Morton. Yeah, J-Mo
2.0, yeah. Why not Shep? Even though like, you know, he's a rookie coordinator, I think he's going to get a little bit of a pass.
Yeah.
He does have he probably has a better defense than AG inherited when he first came on. Nah, man, that's a fact. I mean,
I'll take that.
Name me the defensive players that AG had when he first started on the Lions. I don't even remember them. Shoot, they were bad. So
yeah.
I think there's more pressure with Shep because the fact is that this offense is going to be good regardless because you still have a good quarterback, you still have a good O-line, you still have good receivers, you still have good backs. Like you can hand the ball off to Sonic and Knuckles all game and you'd be fine, you know, behind that O-line. But with the defensive side, Shep's going to be cold hands to the fire very quickly with playing Jordan Love and Lamar Jackson the first 2 weeks.
I got you right here.
Yeah.
So I've already expected the defense to always be trash. I've always looked at the defense like they have core fundamental beliefs of what they're going to be exceptional at. So last year they cared about being exceptional at situational football, turnovers, third down, red zone, and they did a great job with the run defense. Their core philosophy, or Aaron Glenn's core philosophy, was stop the run, stop the red zone, and stop people on third down. And we were top 5 in those aspects. The only reason I would put pressure on Shep, if those aspects, and you've been in that building for 3 or 4 years, and 6 years for real, and you've seen 2 defensive minds come in, because remember, he got here as a player with Matt Patricia. The only reason I would not put pressure on him is I already expect the defense to be trash. The reason to put pressure on him is those 3 quadrants was the skill set. That was the formula. The formula was be good at third down, be good in the red zone, and if you can't do that and stop the run, if you can't do that with the personnel that you have, I can't trust you because y'all did not get better. Every move was a lateral move. I mean, if everybody's healthy, you could say that's getting better. So, I mean, you could say it. But honestly, I've never expected this defense to be dominant at any point. We've never had a corner to take away half the field, and we will never will. We have these role player gadget guys that, you know, they're nice to have around, but they sell Kool-Aid on the side. These guys are regular guys to me. I think you have 3 or 4 elite players on this defense. That's Kirby Joseph, Aiden Hutchinson, when healthy, and that's Aleem McNeil, and maybe Anzalone, but he's a higher tier player, and maybe Reed, but is Reed the guy? So there's a lot of questions for me internally. If Reed's the guy, if this guy's the guy, and how is he going to fare him? What's the step that Jack Campbell's going to take? So with all these questions, the only non-questions I have is the 2 safeties. That's crazy. Like, think about it. Is Terrion going to take a jump? Is Davenport going to be ready? If I have all these questions about the defensive unit, I can't put that much pressure on the defensive coach. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Where do you see? How far do you think this Lions team can go this year? What's their ceiling?
Where I want them to go is the Super Bowl. I think they can do it with excellent coaching, and I think they can do it with excellent play. But I feel like the floor, if I were to say an adequate floor, was they lose in the divisional round or the second round of the playoffs. Their floor to me is the NFC Championship game, really. But I don't know how these other 5 or 6 teams, this crop of teams, is going to be. Because if we look at that crop of teams, they're going to be good. So I'm going to say a floor is winning 1 game in the playoffs. Your top, to me, is going to the Super Bowl. And if you can be 12-5, I think Lohi said it last show on the last live stream. He said, if you could be 12-5 with this schedule and you don't win a Super Bowl, or 13-4. Someone said it in the chat. You could be 13-4 with this schedule and you don't win a Super Bowl. That's a loss. That's terrible. And you're healthy, of course. But
yeah, I've said many a times that our year was last year to win it all, to get there and win it. Mm-hmm. And I don't see it happening this year as much as I would love to say it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but just the division's harder. The schedule is brutal, especially on the road, and you have a first-year defensive coordinator that very well could be over his head halfway through the season. Let's just be real. And Johnny Morton, if he decides to go a different route and decides to do his own thing, we don't know. That's the biggest concern I have. And so, I think the best we do is probably division. I agree with you.
I agree with you too. There's a lot of questions. Believe it or not, it's crazy how a team that has so much change but stayed so steady and brought the same people back has so many questions. It's crazy. That's insanity. That's crazy. I
think the questions are more on the coordinators than anything, because you replaced both your coordinators, and the last time a team lost both. And the last time a team lost both coordinators, it was the Eagles, and they didn't do very well the next year. So
my question is. My question is, will the same role of the RB? You see how small that is to read? You see how small that is to read, though? Because I don't use the big, And you know what's funny? When I watch playback, people be thinking I can't read because I'll be like,
my eyes are going out too.
Will the same role of the running backs be the same? Keep Gibbs touches per game between 12 and 17. Don't wear him down by November. What you mean? You think it's different?
Oh, Gibbs is going to have a bigger role, 100%. I think he's going to be the feature back, and Monty's going to be probably more short yardage, goal line, third downs, which I think that at some point he was going to supplant that role, and Gibbs was going to take over. Dude, Gibbs is a superstar. He is a superstar in the making. The guy is arguably behind Saquon, Derrick Henry. He is the third best running back in the NFL, and he's only getting better. And the sky's the limit for that dude. So I would say about 25 carries a game for him.
What I wish they did more of, and hopefully Morton will put this in, is I wish they had him more in the slot or more on the outside, actually not as a decoy, but actually having real route concepts, real passes.
Theo Reddick kind of role, like they used Theo Reddick back in the day.
Exactly. Just have him in the slot, work him outside, because Ben Johnson did that, but he was always it was always a high-low read. The ball never really went to his side. In 2023, they did a lot of that. They did it against Dallas. They did it against the Packers, and he was not even looked at by the quarterback. So
I think that was the plan earlier before the season started, but Gibby got injured in the training camp, and they didn't get to really expand that role, and they said they would, but they never did. I want to see him in more screenplays. I mean, you got guys that can pull. You've got athletic dudes. Get those guys in space and get Gibby in space. Get JMO in space. Get Amara in space. Dude, you got a lot of space movers.
We seen that in Chicago last year. Chicago, when we were at Chicago, we were deep in the end zone territory, enemy territory. And, all Goff did was turn around, dump it off to Gibbs, a screen, and we got 26 yards off the play. And he had 45 yards passing. He had 45 yards receiving in the game. See, that's why I like doing the film studies, because now I can remember that crap. I can remember. You edit like this and you do all this, you can remember, oh, wow, he was really a passing threat. And I'm like, man, of course, the thing that took away from that game was the stumble bum. Everybody remembers the stumble bum or whatever it's called. And that's what they remember. They don't remember all our running backs were involved in the passing game. They don't remember.
I remember that ball that Goff threw to JMO, which was beautiful, hit him right in stride. I need to see more of that this year with Goff and JMO, because I expect a lot more synergy with them this coming season.
Yep. Oh, Loha responded to me. I think if you're healthy, you win that many games, you don't have any excuses not to at least get to the Super Bowl. I think so.
It's a Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah, at that point, for sure. So Super Bowl or bust, like a week-to-week thing if we're healthy, or is Super Bowl or bust for the team, or if we're healthy? Because
it's the team. Let's be real, dude. If we have the injuries we had last year, it's not going to be Super Bowl. There's no way in hell. The schedule's harder. You've got the divisions better. I'm surprised that we won 15 games with half a defense. I really am. Shout out to AG and Dan and Ben, how they made that happen, because that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, with all those injuries going down, you still win 15 games, and you had a hard schedule too. Like, that was a first place schedule too. So I mean, and you sweep the division. So that, like I said, that's why I said last year was our year. But
and it turned out to be easy. The schedule turned out to be easy.
Well, yeah, because the Lions were just that good. They were just kicking everybody's butt. Like, the point differential was no joke.
Yeah. Shout out to Run the Ball. If you watch playback, I shouted you out. I know you got a birthday in 4 days. I just want to shout you out again. No weirdo, no Diddy. I just want to make sure you see it. Everybody see it. Put your birthdays in the chat, and I'll gladly write them down. We got some June birthdays coming up, so I can't wait to get to those.
Yeah, my birthday's
next
in June.
month. Oh yeah, I'll shout you out, man. For sure, man.
24th, baby. Shout out.
Yeah.
All the great people are born in June.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot. Some of y'all be like Geminis and all this other stuff. Yeah.
Cancer. Yeah,
yeah. My bad.
I don't shout that out very often, man, because that makes people cry sometimes. So I don't want to say that. I'm a Cancer. No.
Oh wow. Oh, yeah. Especially in this locker room, they say you're a Cancer. You can't be on the team. He's a Cancer.
I do have one question I want to ask you.
Oh yeah.
Because
cool.
I think it's starting to become more and more prevalent as the season's going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trade for Trey Hendrickson?
I think he's gonna get released, and if he's released, absolutely, you do whatever you need to do.
He's gonna get released.
I think he's gonna get released, but right now they just broken and they severed ties, like both sides, his agent and him, his representation. He's not practicing. It's a bigger discussion. It's a bigger problem.
Right.
You drafted
Burrow's
a guy.
come out and said something. He's come out and said something.
Right.
Like, I think this is going to be a deal that's going to be done soon. But
right.
If you're the Lions, do you trade for Trey Hendrickson and pay him number one money?
If you trade for him, he's going to expect a deal. If you sign him to a 1-year contract, that's why I wait for the release. Like, again, you got Zadarius Smith in play, and that's probably going to be a constellation prize. But I don't trade for him. I wait till he's available, and then I see the market for him, because most teams have spent their money, and we the third highest in cap room. Like, me personally, I may talk about Brad Holmes not having knee-jerk reactions, but I do appreciate that he doesn't have knee-jerk reactions sometimes, because it's easy for him to say, oh, let's trade for this guy and give away a ton of draft capital. You don't know where your schedule is going to land you. If Goff gets hurt week 1, you looking at Hendon Hooker and whoever else is back there, y'all might be picking in the top 6. Okay,
that's fair.
So I'm not going to trade anything. I'm going to see how this plays out. This is a 31-year-old guy. We have the grit and all the fight and all that stuff. That's great. But guess what? He's better than anybody with the exception of Aiden Hutchinson at the position on our roster. So I don't care if the Egyptian is talking his stuff. Like, I'm grateful for the mac and cheese. I don't care about none of that shit. Wait till he's released. Get him in the room. Get him in the building. And
that's
how
a bold
much we
take.
pay.
I haven't thought. I didn't even think about that. I did not.
Y'all paying him 12 million 1 year, bro. Maybe 15. I don't want to disrespect
16
the guy
right now.
Exactly. It's like, we're on a Super Bowl train. Like, he went to a Super Bowl. He knows what that takes. He had a quarterback on a rookie deal. He had wide receivers on rookie deals. His team is totally not going to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. If you're a Cincinnati fan, you're not going. You're not going. Like, last year was the time to go, and you couldn't even make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, you talk about defense having problems. They're
not even relevant.
Defense,
right? If I'm a negotiator, if I'm Driscoll, or if I'm a Brad Holmes, or if I'm what's the other dude with the glasses with the white hair? If I'm Sheila Ford, even, like, if you want to be a part of this team, look, we trying to win a Super Bowl. We're not here for the money stuff. Look, you gonna get paid, all right? We trying to get somewhere we never been before. I ain't got no time for it. Here's $12 million for the first year plus bonuses. Look, we just paid Kirby. We about to pay Aiden pretty soon. I ain't got time for this shit. We trying to get to a Super Bowl. We trying to finish what you never did.
I will agree with you on this aspect of the Trey situation. I don't think he's going to get released. He's too good to be released. Okay. I think that he's very well, worst case scenario, he holds out until he gets a new deal. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If I'm Brad Holmes is very shrewd. He's the kind of dude that you ever seen Pawn Stars?
Porn Stars?
Show? No, Pawn Stars.
Porn Stars. I didn't say that on YouTube. Took our whole.
No, you're good. You're
Took
good.
our
You're
whole
good.
monetization. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Pawn. Yeah,
Okay. All
I
right.
seen
So
Pawn.
you go
Yeah,
into a pawn shop, you tell them what you think it's worth, and
yeah,
they turn around and say, "Nah, this is what it's worth." You
yeah,
might be
yeah.
right,
I'll
but
give you
they're not
200.
gonna. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not gonna take it because they know they're not gonna turn around and make a profit off it. So,
yeah,
you know, the thing with Brad is Brad's shrewd enough that I could see him. If Trey said, "Hey, I want to come to Detroit," Brad's like, "Listen, we can bring you to Detroit, but we're not going to bring you at the price that you want to be brought at. Like
that's
you're
it.
making 16 mil right now, and we got other people we got to pay to keep this train running down
Yeah,
for the next couple of years.
yeah,
So what do we do? What if we did like, hey, we'll give you 25. That's a $9 million bump because you're worth it.
yeah,
I mean, the guy's been consistent, 17 and a half sacks last year, and
yeah,
consistently double-digit sacks. You're
yeah,
worth it. You're also 31 too, but we give you a
yeah.
bump at 25, and we keep the train running down the street. And hey, if we have to let go of some of these young guys because this gets us to Super Bowl, you got to do what you got to do. At the end of the day, if we win the ring, everything else is gravy. Who cares?
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Just get the ring. Just get the ring. Get the ring. That's it.
Look. I gotta. Right now, the Cincinnati situation has become ridiculous. You have Joe Burrow saying stuff that's his franchise hasn't done before. They haven't done it. They won't do it, and they're not going to.
They're cheap. They're cheap.
And they've also paid the two receivers which you wanted. They paid the two receivers, so now they have to pull off a Saints move where they owe money, and that's cool too. But this situation has been going on for since the end of last season, and it's starting to become like, okay, he's not in camp. You have Shamar. Shamar deal wasn't worked out good. It's becoming a distraction. It's becoming a black eye on an otherwise decent team that has playoff aspirations and Super Bowl aspirations. Again, the Stafford year, they went to the Super Bowl. They were the best team in the league at that time, especially in the passing game. They had 4,000 or 5,000 yards passing. Like the formula is five wide receivers, straight verts, and Zach Taylor and the gang brought that out of Joe Burrow. And then that offensive coordinator went somewhere else and developed another quarterback, and he hasn't been back since. So to me, my focus becomes, and I think this speaks to me as a person. I don't have time for no bullshit. I need to focus on my goal. So whenever y'all see me like editing, or this for the fans out there, whatever, I'm not focused on what Motor City Mania said. I'm not focused on Micro Mike. I gotta put this video out now. And I don't even care if I don't care about certain things when I have to do certain things. So if I'm a focused organization about my Super Bowl, look, bro, you can go. We got to move forward. And I think if I was a head coach of that, look, I'm not kissing your ass. I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna give you a contract that you want. I'm not playing with you.
That's what I'm saying. Brad's not that type of guy. He's not going to give you what you want. He's going to talk you down, and he's going to be like, "Hey, you either take this deal or keep it moving. Go somewhere else."
Absolutely,
because they're that confident in what they have and what they got built that they'll tell you, "Hey, like CD's a perfect example. He wanted 20 million. Is he worth 20 million? Oh, I'm not paying no 20 million. We'll go get DJ Reed for freak 14."
That's it.
Who's probably just as good a cornerback as you are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I move. Like, I'm not, matter of fact, I think someone tried to sell me something one time. I was downtown. I swear to God, it was one of those lemonades. Last year, I was at the Jazz Fest, or I was at a Monica concert, actually. And I was at the Monica concert, and they had the lemonade. They said $10. And I said, that ain't worth no damn $10.
I'm going to pay $10.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not paying no $10.
Bro,
I'm good, bro.
I've been in sales my whole life, man. I don't like to be sold on anything. Like, I really, like, if you sold me, you did a good job. Because I'm cheap as hell. I squeak when I walk. So, I mean, like, I know where Brad's coming from. And this is the last thing I'll say about Brad. When Brad said in his presser, because I know you kind of gave some shade and said, "Oh, we didn't learn anything new about Brad," but I'm gonna give you something here. When Brad said that, "Hey, we have a mortgage and we've got college funds waiting," which he meant young players that are about to get extended. Like, you can't go out and spend all that money like you want to because you've got those kids to worry about to pay in the future. That was real talk right there, because I believe that's what Brad is trying to do. Yeah, he would love to go get Trey Hendricks right now and pay him $35 million and pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson, call it a day. He would have loved to pay CD $20 million, even though he's not worth it. He would love to go out and get the top dollar free agent, to make every fan base in the Lions happy. The reality is he can't do it if he wants to keep these other players that he has developed, he's brought up, he's done everything and they've respected this fan base and this organization. He wants to reward the people that have been through the wars with him already, not somebody who doesn't even know about the Lions culture and they don't know anything about that person. It's easier to sign somebody and already knows your culture and knows what you're about, rather than somebody who comes off the streets and says, "Oh yeah, I want to be a Lion." Well, do you even know what it's like to be a Lion? Oh, I watched them yesterday. You don't know what it's like to be a Lion. So that's what I'm saying. Is like that was the true thing I took away from him, is that he knows that it's coming down the line and he can't spend all those dollars like everybody wants him to spend.
Yeah, and it's cool with me too. Like, if you want to try out these guys, try them out. But you had the chance to draft everybody you had the chance to draft. There was 20 pass rushers with upwards of 7 to more sacks in the draft. Good colleges, 10 of them were from the SEC. Like, if you drafted a guy, Hassanin, you drafted Hassanin, you're going to have to live and lie in that bed. And don't come double back around and, week 8 and you pick up a Bruce Irvin clone. Me personally, I'm tired of the gamesmanship act with Brad. But to your point, you said it perfectly. He's got college funds. He's got stuff going on. And that speaks to me. Me personally, I got to worry about my daughter's insurance. I got to worry about my insurance.
Yeah, you want to buy a Maserati or you want to ride in a Maserati, but the reality is you got bills to pay. We got stuff, we can't afford that stuff, so you got to be cheap in some areas,
Right. You ain't got to be cheap in some areas. And besides, we're on a Super Bowl ride, so the stuff he doing over there, he might not even take a 1-year contract over here. The stuff he doing over there, he might not even look at us if he's released. He might want to go to the Chargers or, New England and set the new culture and get $30 million a year or whatever the hell. He could do that. But you're not going to win nothing over there.
But there is ties to Detroit with Trey. Muhammad Al-Fayed was teammates with him in the Saints. Dan is familiar with Trey because he was in the Saints when he was playing there. So they have some ties that they could definitely talk to him about. I think they want to see what's going to happen with the whole situation with the Bengals, because it is getting ugly.
Yeah. Super Bowl on a budget complete guy. So on that note, man, I'm gonna have.
Yeah, you want to be consistent. That's what happens. You got to be cheap.
Yeah. On that note, man, I'm definitely gonna let's shout out your channel. Let's show them where they can find you, especially on Facebook too.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's always great talking to you, man. Love the content. Love the videos you put out there. Thank you for having me. Yes, my show is One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. You can find us on YouTube. We're on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and it's One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. Check us out. We're just talking Lions like everybody else does.
Okay, all right. And you know what? I want to put it in the chat. So next time I have your link in the chat.
Sweet, man. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Next time, for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna have a Lions. We're gonna shout out to all the Lions people out there. We're gonna have a show. Brent's always on our show and checks us out. Thank you for the shout outs, Brent. We're going to have a Lions Day where we're going to have all the Lions fans, and we're all going to put us in a room, a virtual room, and we're all going to be talking Lions. And, I want you there. I want everybody there who's Lions fans, because it's going to be fun, man. You're going to have the SOL fans. You're going to have the new Lions fans. You're going to have the middle of the fence fans. Like it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be awesome. So
yeah, I got you, man.
That'll be coming closer to training camp.
That's going to be one of those shows that I'm not going to just watch, but I'm going to wish I was a part of. So I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to come on like the last 15 minutes because that's dope. Hey, that's dope. That's dope, man. I love your show. I love what you guys do.
Definitely show up, man. Definitely show up. Even the last 15 minutes, show up. I would love to have you there.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are organized. Y'all do a great job. Even if y'all disagree with respect. On YouTube, you disagree with somebody, it's World War II. And, unfortunately, I ain't got no time for it. I don't care that much. I don't care what YouTuber I'm beefing with today.
Life's too short to get beef with somebody all the time.
Exactly. Off a team that's not going to pay me anything for all this content I got.
Exactly.
God bless y'all. Love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Spirit of Detroit.
It is the beginning of another chapter. That part of the story of the statue's deep spiritual significance. The spirit of Detroit